name's Morgan and I'm a certified group fitness instructor for Penn State Campus Recreation Fitness and Wellness. So today I have a little bit of a yoga flow focused on core strength and a little bit of balance as well. All you'll really need is a nice open space to move around in. If you don't have a yoga mat, that's fine. It's not completely necessary. Just make sure whatever you're working with, it's comfortable to stand and lay down on and move around on overall. Make sure you have comfortable clothes to move in. You can be barefoot if you want. If you decide to wear socks, just be aware of what you're standing on. We don't want anyone slipping, especially when we're doing a lot of balance work. But if you want to wear sneakers, that works too. If you choose to wear shoes, make sure they're comfortable and supportive. Other than that, make sure you are paying attention to your body throughout. If there's any moves that you don't feel comfortable doing, feel free to modify. I'll try to give different progressions and regressions as we go through. But if you do feel any pain, dizziness, shortness of breath, or any type of discomfort, go ahead and stop what you're doing right away, take a break, grab some water, but we'll go ahead and get started here. So go ahead and make your way into a comfortable seated position on your mat. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what we're doing a little bit better. And from here, think about lifting your head up towards the ceiling. So rising tall, lengthening your spine. And as you lengthen your spine, think about engaging your core to maybe even lift your back up a little bit taller. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears and then exhale them down and away. Relax them. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then exhale, feel those shoulders get even heavier. Relax that tension. We carry so much tension in our upper body, especially when we're sitting at computers, looking at our phones, sitting at desks all day. So get rid of all of that extra pressure that we might be holding there. Any constraints. Nice deep breath in and exhale out. One more time, inhale in, open up that chest, rise tall, and exhale down. One more time, reset those shoulders, roll them back, and then we're gonna inhale, reach your arms up overhead, and then exhale, one arm goes behind, one in front, gaze goes back behind that back shoulder. So nice little spinal twist here. Inhale, reach those arms back up overhead, and exhale, switch sides. So whichever side you weren't just on, let those arms rest on the ground. Inhale back to center. Same thing on that first side. So once again, feel your breath. Inhaling to reach up. Exhale, allow those arms to fall down gently. Nice spinal twist. See if that gaze can reach a little bit further behind you each time. Think about opening up that spine as we stretch here. Nice deep breaths. One more to each side here. Remember, we're still sitting up tall, so don't let that posture fall here. Last time. And exhale down. Final stretch. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then from here, we're gonna start to reach forward, keeping our back as flat as possible as we reach forward. And then go ahead, allow your hands to fall onto the mat. So from here, we wanna keep our spines as flat as possible and just lower as much as our bodies will allow. So as soon as your back starts to arch, stay wherever you are. So if you're still up here and you can only roll down to here, that is totally okay. But just reach your hands just as much as your body will allow, keeping that back nice and flat. So that's gonna give us a deeper stretch down our spine and into those hips. Last breath, go ahead, walk your hands closer to your legs. We're gonna flip over into tabletop position, so into our quadruped position here. Make sure Your shoulders are stacked right over those wrists. Your hips are right over those knees. You can open up your hands so you have a nice firm foundation here. And then start to engage that core, feeling your back nice and flat. Once again, you want a long spine here. So that gaze should be down towards the mat. So again, our neck is in line with the rest of our body. Engage that core. Nice deep breath in. And then exhale, slowly drop your chin down towards your chest. As you do so, arch that back up towards the ceiling, stretching it out. And then inhale, rise the forehead up towards the sky, lower the belly button down towards the ground. That spine curves the opposite direction. Go ahead, drop that chin down towards that chest. Exhale here. And then inhale, open that forehead up towards the sky. Exhale, lower down. Flowing through these two positions with the pace of your own breath here. Opening up that chest each time, feeling that spine wave in opposite directions. And remembering to engage those core muscles as we switch between these two movements. We'll do one more time through each pose. Remember, keep this movement controlled. Feel that breath through. Last one's here. And then go ahead and meet me back in that tabletop position with our backs nice and flat. So find that neutral position, keeping that back as still as possible. Again, start to engage that core. Go ahead, press your hands up. So a lot of times we want to drop our neck into our shoulders. Press your shoulders away from your head. And then from here, we're going to reach our right hand out in front, creating a nice straight line, reaching as far as we can. And then go ahead, when you're ready, slowly rise up that left leg. So opposite hand and opposite leg, reaching out in front and behind. Feeling that core engage here. Holding strong. Making sure we're breathing through. And go ahead, slowly lower it on back down. Replant your hands onto that mat. This time, go ahead, reach that left arm out in front. And then that right leg. When you're ready, engage that core. Raise that opposite leg behind you. Nice straight line. Think about reaching a little bit further here. Nice deep breaths. And then lower everything down. This time we're going to go back to that right side. So once again, raise right arm and left leg. Create that nice straight line. See if we can lift that leg and that arm a little bit higher. And then from here, just a little bit of a balance challenge. We're gonna open up our arm and our legs to the side. So reaching out to opposite sides, opening up. And then keep that core tight, keep that arm and leg lifted. Draw them back to center. And we're gonna cross them over our center line. So crossing them over, maybe it's just slightly, but give that balance a little bit of a challenge here. Use that core, allow your body to shake. One more time, find your way to center. Reach long out in front and behind. And then when you're ready, open it up to that side. As wide as you can. It doesn't have to be too wide. We're just focusing on challenging that balance today. Draw that arm and leg back to center. And then when you're ready, cross it over that center line. Reaching to the opposite sides. Slowly draw your arm and leg back to center. See if we can reach tall once again. Lift it a little bit higher. 2 deep breaths here. And then slowly lower everything down towards the mat. You can go ahead, lift your hands one at a time. If you want to place the bottom, or I guess the top of your hand onto the mat to get a little bit of an extra stretch here, you can. And then from here, this time we're going to reach left hand and right leg up off that ground, or whichever side you didn't do the first time. Remember, keep that back nice and still, nice and straight here. When you're ready, we're going to start to open it up to the side. And maybe this side feels a little more wobbly. I know this side feels a little bit more shaky to me, but that is totally okay. Draw that arm and leg back to center, reach tall, and then when you're ready, we're going to cross over that center line, challenge that balance here. Find your way back over to center, reach long. And then one more time, when you're ready, we're going to open it on up to the side here. Again, challenging that balance. Keep that core nice and still, nice and tight here. Slowly draw your arm and leg back to center. Reach long. And then when you're ready, start to cross it over. Bring your arm and leg back to center. Last time, reach tall here. See if you can reach a little bit higher or a little bit further. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, slowly lower everything down to the mat. Once again, you can go ahead and roll out those wrists. Sometimes I like to put my hands in a fist and kind of roll them out onto the mat here. But then find your way back into that quadruped position. We're gonna curl our toes under, press into the mat, shift those hips back into down dog. And if this is your first down dog of the day, you can make it an active stretch. So pedaling out those heels, maybe shaking your hips a little bit side to side or making circles with those hips. I always like to try to press my chest closer towards the mat, so squeezing those shoulder blades together. But doing what feels good for you here, especially pedaling out those heels if those legs are a little bit tight today. Awesome. From here, we're gonna shift our weight forward into a plank. So option always to come down to your knees or to your elbows. Make sure those shoulders are stacked over those wrists. Again, press your shoulders away from your neck, away from those ears. Keep that core tight. Keep it nice and engaged. Hips stay square with the ground. Breathing through. We never want to be holding our breath through any of these movements. Again, make sure that back is nice and flat. Nice deep inhale here. And exhale, shoot those hips behind you. Back to that down dog, pedal out those heels. Once again, go ahead, shift that weight forward into that plank for the second time here. And this time we're gonna lower down nice and slow on a count of 4. So we're down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down towards the ground. So laying flat on that mat here. And then from here, we're gonna start to warm up that spine. So gently pressing our chest up off that mat into a mini cobra here. Go ahead, lower it back down. This time you can start to make that cobra a little bit bigger. So straightening those arms a little bit more and lower it back down. And then one more time, pressing up into that mat. This time you can take it all the way up into a full cobra here. Stretch out that back. And then sometimes I like to gaze behind me, kind of lift up that leg that you're looking at, come back to center, and then gaze over the other leg, lift up Or go gaze over the other shoulder, lift up the opposite leg. Back to center, find that cobra, gaze comes up, and then bend those elbows down to the back of the room, lower back down to the ground. This time option to take that full cobra or to go into up dog. So if you want to take up dog, pressing your hands into the mat, peeling everything up off the mat except the tops of our feet and our hands. Still gazing up towards the ceiling, keeping those shoulders away from that neck. And then go ahead, curl those toes under. Exhale your hips to the sky into that down dog. From here, go ahead, bring that gaze forward, bend your knees down towards the mat, and you can step them up to meet your hands. So into a forward fold here. Nice deep breaths. Relax the head, neck, and shoulders. From here, if you want to grab opposite elbows and kind of gently shake your hips side to side. Reach your elbows to each side of your legs. Again, let that head come nice and heavy. Go ahead, bring your hands back down and then slowly roll it on up, one vertebrae at a time. Roll those shoulders back behind you. Inhale, reach your arms up, gaze up to the sky. And then exhale, we're gonna slowly reach forward. Again, thinking about keeping that nice flat back like we had at the beginning of class. Use that core to start to draw you down towards your mat. Keep that back nice and flat here. And then go ahead, reach all the way down. Go ahead, inhale, lift halfway. Your hands can rest along your shins. Keep that back flat. And then from here, we're gonna sink our hips back behind us. Reach our arms up overhead. So into chair right here. So nice deep breaths. Keeping that back still, sinking low. Make sure those heels are pressed into that mat. Nice deep breath in, and then exhale, fold forward. From here, go ahead, plant your hands into the mat. We're gonna step our feet back into plank. From here, lower down on a count of 4, 3, 2, and 1. Once again, take up dog or cobra, whatever you're feeling today. Exhale, shoot those hips back behind you into down dog. From here, go ahead, raise that right leg up into the air, opening up. If you want to bend your leg and try to stack those hips over each other, so opening up that right hip to the side. Nice stretch here. And then from here, we're gonna draw our knee up towards our chest. Hold strong, point that toe, and squeeze that whole leg. Keeping that core tight, keeping that back nice and flat. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, kick that foot back into three-legged dog behind you. Nice deep stretch. Once again, go ahead, draw that knee up towards your chest. Hold here. Squeeze everything tight. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, send it back. So back to that down dog. We'll do that one more time. So last time on this side, draw that knee up towards your chest. Squeeze here. Hold strong. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, kick that foot back behind you. And go ahead, allow it to fall next to that left foot. Go ahead, pedal out your heels. You can start to press your chest down towards the mat, kind of stretch out those shoulders. And then when you're ready, we're gonna raise that left leg into the air. So whichever leg you didn't do the first time. And once again, go ahead, open up to the side, trying to stack those hips over each other, opening up that left hip. When you're ready, find me back in that three-legged dog. And we're gonna draw that knee up towards our chest, squeeze that center tight. Hold strong here, pointing that toe. And exhale, kick it back behind you. Back to that three-legged dog. Once again, draw that knee up towards your chest, hold strong. We are almost done with these. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, and exhale, kick it back. Last one here. So getting ready, draw that knee up towards your chest, hold strong. Keep that core tight, make sure that back is flat. Nice inhale here. Exhale, go ahead, send it on back. And then once again, when you're ready, you can drop that foot down towards the ground. Again, pedal out those heels so they're nice and even. Press your shoulders down towards the ground. And then go ahead, bend your knees towards the mat. Bring that gaze forward towards your hands. And go ahead, step your feet up to meet your hands into forward fold. So from here, right away, sink those hips back behind you. Reach your arms up in front. So into chair. You can go ahead, draw your hands towards your chest. Relax those shoulders down and away. Pressing those heels into the ground here. From here, I'm gonna start shifting my weight into my right foot, drawing my left leg up into the sky. So lifting that knee up, use your core to find that strength. And we're gonna start to kick it back behind us, finding our warrior three. So from here, you can reach your arms out in front, trying to make a nice straight line from our arms to our legs. If you want another challenge, you can reach your arms behind you, or you can kind of switch between the two. But go ahead, play around with your warrior. It's a lot better for your arms to be nice and straight with your legs. So if this is your warrior three, that's just as good as if your chest is parallel with the ground. But go ahead, play around with it, challenge yourself to sink a little bit deeper. We'll hold this for 3 more breaths. Make sure we're keeping that gaze in line with our spine here. And then from here, keeping that back foot lifted, we're gonna bring our hands all the way down towards the mat. So trying to keep those legs straight. And then place your right hand on the mat. Another little balance challenge. We're gonna open up that left arm up overhead. So into our half moon. Extra challenge to gaze up at that hand. That's gonna challenge that balance here. But try to keep that leg as high as we can. Awesome. You guys got it. I know this is challenging. Try to stack those shoulders over each other. From here, we got an extra little challenge today. I know this was a little bit more difficult of a yoga flow, but we're gonna press on up into that standing leg. We're gonna make our way into warrior two. So when you're ready, cartwheel your hands, step that foot back into warrior two. So I know I did that kind of fast. Feel free to just go for it. And then once you're there, you can adjust your warrior two once you find your way into that standing position. So go ahead, step that foot back, reaching your arms straight out in front and behind you. We want our front toe pointing forward and our back toe is at a 90-degree angle. And think about pressing or creating a straight line between your heels. So I always say to think about really pressing those heels into the ground. Pretend like you're sending energy along a straight line between those heels. Gaze goes over those front fingertips. So we're gazing forward in front of our fingertips and that front toe. From here, again, relax those shoulders, but reach those arms as long as we can. Sink low in that warrior two, but we're gonna keep our lower body as still as possible here and just reach our arms forward as far as we can and then reach them back through center and behind us. So using that core and that upper body to reach those arms forward and reach them back. Again, trying to keep those arms as straight as possible and keeping that lower body as still as possible. So really using that core to reach forward and back here. Awesome, keeping this up. Reach it back behind and and reach it forward. Awesome. We'll do one more to each direction. Still sinking low in that warrior two. Go ahead, find your way back to center. Keep those shoulders relaxed. And we're gonna cartwheel our hands down so that we're framing our foot with those hands. From here, we're gonna step, or we're gonna place our right hand onto the mat. Step that front foot back into a side plank, opening up to the side of the room here. So thinking about stacking those shoulders right on top of each other, just like we saw with that half moon. Option again, if you want to kickstand those legs, that bottom leg, if you want to come down to your forearm, you can, but holding strong here. Nice deep breaths, keep those cores tight, keep those hips lifted up off the ground. Option for an extra challenge, you can try to raise that top leg. We'll be here for 3 more breaths, so hold strong. And the last 3, 2. Bring that top arm down towards the mat, find your way into a center plank. Hold strong here. Keep that core nice and engaged. And then go ahead, exhale, shoot those hips behind you into down dog. Pedal out those heels. Stretch out those shoulders. Awesome. From here, go ahead, bend your knees down towards the mat, bring that gaze forward. Go ahead, step your feet into a forward fold up here. And I'm gonna move to the other side of the mat so you guys can see me a little better. But in this forward fold, press those heels into the mat, sink those hips down. Our arms are gonna reach up overhead. Again, feel free to bring your hands down to heart center. Awesome. We're gonna go onto that other leg this time. So this time, shifting that weight into our left foot, raising that right foot up. Draw that knee up towards your chest, high knee. And then when you're ready, start to kick it back behind you. Find that warrior 3. Using that core to stabilize you. And remember, it might feel different on either sides of your body, so you'll probably notice that one side balances a little bit better than the other, and that's totally okay. Just take notice of that here. Again, play around with this warrior. You can reach your arms up, and then remembering to adjust that warrior so your legs are nice and in line with your arms. Again, you can reach your arms behind you to challenge yourself. One more deep breath here. And then again, go ahead, place both hands onto the mat, raising that right leg a little bit higher. When you're ready, we're gonna plant that left hand down and then start to open that right arm up to the side. This side is definitely more of a challenge for me, but try to stack those shoulders over each other, straighten that top leg. Opening up here, nice deep breaths. And then from here, get ready to make it into that warrior 2. So when you're ready, press into that front leg, step that back leg back, our arms cartwheel into that warrior 2, reaching out in front and behind. And then again, feel free to adjust your stance once you're up into that position. So front toe pointing forward, back foot at a 90-degree angle, gazing over those front fingertips. Again, sink low in this warrior 2. Reach your arms as far as you can away from each other, and then keeping that lower body nice and still, we're gonna gently reach to the front of the room, and then use that core to draw you back through center and reach behind. So reaching forward, and then reach back. You guys got it. So Reaching out in front. And then reach it back. Just a few more of these. And keeping that lower body as still as possible. Really using that core to power us. Finish up this last one here to both directions. Reaching as far as we can. And then slowly start to make your way back to center. From here, get ready to cartwheel your hands down towards the mat. Plant that left hand into the ground. Step that left foot back into that side plank, opening up onto whichever side you didn't do the first time. Again, feel free to drop that bottom leg into a kickstand position. Make your way down to your forearm, whatever you want. And then again, remember that challenge. If you want to start to lift that top leg, really make sure those shoulders are stacked over each other and they're stacked over that bottom wrist. 3 more breaths here, you guys got it. Again, if you want that extra balance challenge, you can try to gaze up towards that top hand. That always makes me start to wobble a little bit. Nice deep inhale and exhale. Place that top arm gently onto the ground. Shift on over into your center plank. And then from here, nice inhale here. Exhale, shoot those hips behind you. And then go ahead, drop your knees down towards the mat. Big toes come together. Shift back into child's pose. And then from here, you can bring your hands back behind you by your sides for a little bit of a release on those shoulders here. But nice deep breaths. Finding that energy back into that center. Just recentering our bodies. And we're going to finish this off here. Awesome. Go ahead, bring your hands back up in front, rise on up into quadruped, curl those toes under. We're gonna shoot those hips behind us, down dog to recenter, and then shift your weight forward into that plank. From here, bring your right knee to the outside of your right elbow, send it back behind you. This time, draw your right knee up to center and send it back. Last time on this right side, we're gonna cross it over to that left elbow and send it back. Same thing on the left side. So left knee to the outside of that left elbow, send it back. Left knee, draw that up to your chest and send it back. This time, cross it over to that right elbow and send it back. One more time on each side, you guys got it. Use that core, draw that knee up towards your right elbow and back. Right knee comes up towards your chest, send it back. Last time on that right side, draw it up to that opposite elbow and send it back. You guys got it. Finish strong, left knee to left side and send it back. Left knee comes up to center and back. Last time, hold strong, left knee to right elbow. And exhale, send it back. Go ahead, shoot those hips back behind you into down dog. And then once again, lower those knees towards the mat, big toes come together. This time, reach those arms straight out in front into child's pose here. You guys got it, nice deep breaths, getting set here. And then when you're ready, we're gonna keep those forearms planted onto the ground, but shift yourself up so you're in basically a tabletop position with your forearms on that mat. So from here, curl those toes under and shoot those hips up. So this is our dolphin pose. So think about pressing those forearms into the mat. You can make your fingers nice and wide to give you a strong foundation. And then from here, shift your weight forward so you're in a forearm plank. If you need to step your feet back or walk your hands forward to get a better line, you can. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, shoot those hips behind you. Keep that core tight. Shift forward into that plank. And then shoot those hips back behind you. Nice deep breath here. Exhale, shift forward. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, shoot those hips back. Start flowing through these two poses. We'll do each direction 3 more times. Shoot those hips back. Last 2. Send those hips back behind you. Last one here, you guys got it. Hold in that forearm plank for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shoot those hips behind you. Knees can come to the ground, big toes come together. Shift back into that child's pose. Awesome. Nice deep breath here. And then one last time, we're gonna make our way up into that down dog. Curl those toes under, pedal out those heels. And then from here, you can bend your knees slightly. We're gonna walk our feet up to meet our hands, and then go ahead, sit back onto your bottom here. So from here, we're gonna start to warm up that core a little bit more than it already is. So relax those shoulders back and just use your core to pull your heels up off the ground and squeeze your legs into your chest. So using that core to balance you, sitting back, but keeping that back nice and flat. Nice deep breath in, and exhale, lower everything down. We'll do that one more time. So squeeze your core, lift up those legs, hold here, keep that core tight and engaged, and then lower everything down. This time, go ahead, sit on back. So you can place your hands behind you to start. We're gonna raise our legs so that they're parallel with the ground. Relax those shoulders away. And then when you're ready, you can reach your arms out in front. So into a boat pose here. If you wanna practice making your way into full boat, you can. It's okay if you're shaking like I am. Just make sure you're working on keeping that back as flat as possible. I know I tend to arch a lot in this position too, so focusing on finding that strong form, finding that alignment. Hold this position. And then from here, we're gonna go into a low boat. So lowering down, so we're hovering over that mat, and then rise those knees back up towards our chest. Keep those shoulders relaxed. 2 more times, so lower down, nice flat back, and rise up. Holding this boat, last time here, you guys got it. Lower down, hold, and rise on up, hold here, and then slowly drop those heels down towards the ground. You can kind of shake your legs side to side to stretch out those hip flexors. Then we'll do that one more time. So getting set here, find your boat, whatever that means to you. Holding here, and lower down. Hold strong, rise back on up. Find that strong boat, and lower it down. Find that strength here, rise it on up. Last time, you guys got it. Lower down, hold, hold, hold. Keep those shoulders relaxed, engage that core. Draw your knees back up, hold this boat, and lower everything down. This time, walk your feet out wide. You can place your hands back behind you. Drop both knees down to one side of the mat. It's okay if that one hip lifts up. Come back to center, drop them over to the other side. Awesome. This time, come back to center, drop them over to that side, and then whichever foot is on the outside, you can gently place it onto the foot on the in, or onto the knee on the inside to get a deeper stretch on those hips. Bring that foot back to the floor. Switch sides, same thing on the other side. So allowing that foot to give you a deeper stretch here. find your way back to center. We have one more boat. So find your way into that boat, find your strength. Keep those shoulders relaxed. And then from here, we're gonna slowly lower all the way down to the mat, as slow as we can here. Find that low boat. We're gonna hold here. Keep that gaze, keep that head in line with that spine. So we don't wanna be curving our neck into our chest. Hold strong, nice deep breaths. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down nice and slow. Reach your arms up overhead into a full body stretch. And then we're gonna hug our knees into our chest here. You can kind of roll out that lower back. But then go ahead, plant both feet flat into the mat. We're gonna place our right leg over on top of our left leg, so right above our knee, and then really think about pressing that right knee away from us. So pressing that away. From here, we're gonna press into that standing heel. So press into that left heel, rise those glutes up off the mat, and then really think about getting a deeper stretch in that right knee. So this is a little challenge on those glutes and hamstrings, but also stretching out that hip flexor here. Awesome. Slowly lower it back down to the mat. Right foot plants down, left foot places over that right thigh, and then same thing on the other side. Press your right heel into the mat to lift those glutes up, and then really press that left leg away from you to get a deeper stretch. Open up those hips here. Awesome. All right, from here, lower everything down towards the mat. Straighten your legs out in front. We're gonna roll onto our stomachs here, just for a last little challenge. So from here, we're gonna lift our arms and our legs up off the mat. So into a sort of a Superman here. If you want more of a challenge, you can reach your arms out in front. But starting to feel that work on that spine. So working that opposite muscle as that core. It's really important to have a strong back if we want to have a strong center. Try to peel those thighs up off that mat. We'll hold here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully lower everything down. You can let your head rest for a second here too. This time on this next one, we're gonna bend our feet back towards our glutes and then grab the tops of our feet with our hands. And then on this move, we're gonna try to kick into our legs to really lift our chest and our thighs up off the mat. So kick into those legs to press your chest up, and then kick a little bit more to try to lift those thighs up off that mat. So holding strong here. Nice deep breaths. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower everything back down towards the mat. We'll do that just one more time. So reset here. Maybe you want to turn your head to whichever direction you didn't turn it the first time. Nice deep breaths. Go ahead. Kick those feet back behind you towards those glutes once again. Grab those ankles or the tops of those feet. And then once again, kick into this move. So pressing that chest up off the mat, kicking so that your thighs lift up a little bit higher. Using that strength in our back and our core to rise us up here. Squeezing those glutes and those hamstrings. You guys got it. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly relax everything down towards the mat. And then from here, just relax everything into the ground. If you want to roll back onto your back for Shavasana, you can, or you can just rest here in this position. But nice deep breaths, allow that heart rate to come down, allow that core to relax. But just take this time for yourself here. And then whenever you're ready, you can bring your right arm up overhead and turn gently onto that right side. You can keep your eyes closed if you want. But start to bend your knees up towards your chest. You can rest your head onto that right bicep as a pillow, but into kind of a fetal position here. But then still really feeling gratitude and acceptance for ourselves in this position here. And feel free to give yourself more time to relax and decompress. But if you are ready, you can slowly make your way, pressing up whichever way is easiest and most comfortable for you, into a seated position. Still making sure we're sitting up tall, keeping that upper body relaxed but still aligned. And then whenever you're there, we'll take one more inhale together, reach up overhead, bring those hands together, draw them down to heart center. The light in me sees and honors the light in all of you. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. So thank you guys so much for joining me for this little core focused yoga flow. Once again, my name is Morgan. I'm with Penn State Campus Recreation, Fitness, and Wellness. Make sure that you're staying positive during this time and you are taking care of your body, making sure you're staying strong and healthy. So keep checking back in for more videos that we'll be releasing. We have a bunch of different workouts coming for you guys. We have some live stuff as well, so you can check out the Penn State Fitwell Instagram for that also. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye guys.